All right. Shalom to the elect. I want to start by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Chakodash. And what I said was all the praises, honor, and glory belongs to Yahweh, who is the Heavenly Father, in the name of his Son, Yahweh Shai, who is the Messiah, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, every well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. And this lesson here is going to this guy named Matt Walsh. Salakia, if any background noises, if the screen pauses, or any, slow moving, if my screen moves slow because of Wi-Fi. But if I pause or the screen freezes, just skip ahead to where I continue to talk again. All right. But yeah, I kept seeing brothers, upload about this guy named Matt Walsh here. So I'm gonna play it, and get some scriptures because this dude, right from the jump, he just, he went off right from the jump. So let's listen.
Has been one of the greatest forces for European colonialism has been one of the greatest forces for good that the world has ever seen. Billions of people today are living better lives than they would have lived had Europeans not colonized the globe. The colonizers spread civilization, they spread the gospel, they spread innovation, they spread important ideas, such as the idea that you shouldn't murder your children to appease the sun god, that you shouldn't eat your enemies to absorb their life force. Did the colonizers also spread dairy products? I don't know, but I'm happy to add that to the list of triumphs. Is our civilization one that we should be proud of, even in spite of its history of conquest? No, not in spite of that history. I'm proud of it in large part because of that history. It is one of the great triumphs of all time that our forefathers had to first conquer an ocean in order to then land on a giant mass of uncharted wilderness filled with untold dangers and wild beasts, and yes, primitive warring tribes, many of whom practice human sacrifice and cannibalism, and who, if they captured you, would torture you for fun and rape your wife and children before killing you, maybe eating your internal organs and taking your family as their property. And yet, in the face of those unimaginable horrors, our forefathers and ancestors conquered this entire hemisphere and settled it and single-handedly dragged it out of the Stone Age and built from the wilderness the greatest civilization the world had ever known. Am I proud of that? Yes, I am. Now, the natives lived in the Americas for 20,000 years. And this is something that the left and the people who hate this country like to bring up all the time. Well, they were here for so long. Yeah, they were here for a long time. What did they do in that time? During that time, they never figured out the wheel. They never figured out written language. Most of them progressed hardly at all over the course of 200 centuries. They were still eating each other and living in tents, many of them. The great tribes of Mesoamerica had advanced the most. And by that I mean they had caught up to the ancient Egyptians by the time that the conquistadors showed up. They were building pyramids at a time when Europeans were using the printing press. Then European settlers arrived here, and in less than 3 centuries, they had established a nation. In another 70 or so years, that nation would stretch across the entire continent from one ocean to another. In another 50 years, they'd be digging a giant trench through the earth to physically connect one ocean to the other. At the same time, they would be building vehicles that can fly through the air. In another few decades, they'd be walking on the surface of the moon. Okay, these settlers took a wilderness sparsely inhabited by hostile Stone Age natives, and in a matter of a few centuries, built the greatest, most advanced, most globally dominant nation the world has ever known. Am I proud of that? Oh, yes. I am very proud of that. And I will always be proud of that. And I will never apologize for it. Period.
White people.
All right, and this video was put up by the elder Manata Zakba, GMS, South Carolina, 08. Subscribe and be edified, man. All right, but so you heard it, and a lot of other Edomites feel this way, and really what this man described, right, was known or is known as the Salakia, is known as the age of discovery. Okay. Now I'm going to read this first paragraph here on Wikipedia. It says the age of discovery, circa 1418 to circa 1620, also known as the Age of Exploration, was part of the early modern period and largely overlapped with the Age of Sail. Okay. It says it was a period from approximately the late 15th century to the 17th century, during which seafarers from a number of European countries explored, colonized, and conquered regions across the globe. The Age of Discovery was a transformative period in world history when previously isolated parts of the world became connected to the world system and laid the groundwork for globalization. Right? It says the extensive overseas exploration, particularly the opening of maritime routes to the Indies and the European colonization of the Americas by the Spanish and Portuguese, later joined by the English, French, and Dutch, spurred an international global trade. The interconnected global economy of the 21st century has its origins in the expansion of trade networks during this historic era. All right, now I want to go down to a certain part. Here we go. Now it says here, European exploration initiated the Columbian. So basically, once again, this age of discovery is what this dude is describing. It's pretty much when Esau came and conquered, from the conquer, what they call the New World. All right, pretty much, you know. Um, well, it says here, conquer regions across the globe as well. But specifically, I'm talking about, the Americas, right? So it says here, European exploration initiated the Columbian exchange between the Old World, Europe, Asia, and Africa, and the New World, the Americas. See, from North, Central, and South America. This exchange involved the transfer of plants, animals, human populations, including slaves, communicable diseases, and culture across the Eastern and Western hemispheres. So this man is bragging about a period of time where his people conquered, but nevertheless, during that period of time, they brought over death, destruction, disease. Okay, it says the age of discovery and the European exploration involved mapping of the world, shaping a new world view, and facilitating contact with distant civilizations. The continents drawn by European map makers of the age developed from abstract blobs into the outlines more recognizable to us today. Simultaneously, the spread of new diseases, especially affecting American Indians, led to rapid population declines. This era saw widespread enslavement, exploitation, and military conquest of native populations, concurrent with the growing economic influence and spread of Western and European culture. Science and technology leading to a faster and exponential population growth worldwide. So they pretty much came over, you know, and wreaked havoc. You know, here it is. These devils, they think, and the thing is, the thing is crazy. The thing is that they think they did it off of their own power, man. Okay, I think they did it off of their own power, and really, that's just not the truth. Now, the elder here, in the lesson, he hit the scriptures on the head, man. Well, he hit it on the nail, rather. I'm gonna say it like that. He hit it on the nail because those, heavy hitters that he was gonna get. Salakia. All right, but we understand that the Lord is the one that put these devils in power, man. You know, just like He's going to be the one to put us out, to put us in power. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 75, starting in verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the south, nor from the west, nor from the Slakia. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. All right. Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and a demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over the basis of men. So the Lord is the one that controls who rules and who doesn't. Okay, he sets people up in power, and he sets them down, and he puts them out of power. Simple as that. You know, these devils, they didn't get the rulership and power that they have on their own, man. Okay, and furthermore, um, I'm gonna get it. You know, furthermore, Lord set it up to where that they would get their blessing. You know, and part of their blessing was the sword. Deuteronomy, Slaki, Genesis 27, starting at verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered, and Esau is the progenitor of so-called white people. All right. It says Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live. See? And that's why, when they conquered, all right, when the so-called Europeans, Esau, when they conquered, the Western hemisphere of the world, they did it with the what? The sword. They came over here with guns and all that, advanced weaponry. Okay. Why? Because their blessing is a sword, and this was ultimately the Lord's will. Okay. It was ultimately the Lord's will for it be to be like this. Okay. Um Back here. Yeah, and by thy sword shalt thou live, man. All right. Now the thing is, right, to respond to this dude, because basically what this guy is saying, Matt Walsh, what he's saying pretty much is that he's proud of history. Well, he's basically he's just proud of what they did, okay, and how it led up to being what it is today. America and everything like that, right? But here it is. Look at how it is. Look at how it is today. You know, you live in a society where money is not even real money. People have a false idea of wealth. Don't you? Because they like to. Let me bring back some of the stuff he said. Let me play it back.
And they would have lived had Europeans not colonized the globe.
Now hold on. We're gonna get that again.
European colonialism has been one of the greatest forces for good that the world has ever seen. Billions of people today are living better lives than they would have lived had Europeans not colonized the globe.
Now, the reason he would say something like that is because you compare what we have today versus what people would have had back in those times. The different what technological things and you know, I mean, shit. That's just pretty much what I could think of. And even with that, a lot of Jake, made a lot of Jake made inventions that we benefit from today. People don't even understand or realize. Right. But the thing is, what he said, because back in those different societies and everything, that was here before Esau came and colonized it. Well, the scriptures describe having land and all of that as having real wealth. This is the book of Job, chapter 1. I'm going to read this in the NLT. It says, There was once a man named Job who lived in the land of Uz. He was blameless, a man of complete integrity. He feared Yahweh and stayed away from evil. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters. He owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 teams of oxen, and 500 female donkeys. He also had many servants. He was, in fact, the richest person in that entire area. So see, let's read that in the KJV, that specific verse. Read that for context. Job 1 and 3. His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she asses, and a very great household. So that this man was the greatest of all the men of the East. So this is what real wealth is. Here it is. We live in a society today, right? Where you have people that live in rural areas and whatnot, but not I mean, let me see. Let me just type it in and see what they're gonna say. Um, let me just see. Okay. So here it says in the United States, more people live in urban areas than in rural areas, with roughly 80% of the population residing in cities and the remaining 20% in rural areas. Let me just look at what an urban area is. Make sure. All right. It says urban areas are densely populated regions characterized by buildings, infrastructure, and a concentration of human activity. You know, so stuff like this. Okay. you know, so more people, so most people live in places like this. Here it is. You can make all this money, but yet you live in a a concrete jungle. This great country you conquered. This great country you conquered, man. Grab me 1 second. Slovakia. All right, but I hope you skip that part. But back here, okay. This is So I'm gonna read this again. Job 1 and 3. I read that. But to continue the point I was making, all right, it says in the United States, more people live in urban areas than in rural areas, with roughly 80% of the population residing in cities and the remaining 20% in rural areas. Okay, so here it is. You got more people that live in places like this, okay, in cities, a concrete jungle, versus in a rural area like this, okay? This is this great country that your forefathers uh, worked so hard for, and then not only this, but Latin America too, you know, and some of them people down there, they still have land and whatnot. All right, but America, you know, look, man, okay, so you mean to tell me, because before you Europeans came over, you so-called white people, you had your some, so-called own place, okay? I said so-called, but um you come over here, then you colonize, right? And the thing is, before you got over here, we were over here, man. Our people, Southern Kingdom was still in the east at the time, of the conquistadors and everything. All right. But when the conquistadors came over, before they came over here, before the conquistadors came over here, Jake already had their own land and everything. They own. Let's look up that word civilized real quick. Get them online. Civilized. Civilized. It says circa 1600 to bring out of barbarism, introduce order and civil organization among refined and enlightened. And so you mean to tell me, so if you're saying you civilized someone, you saying that you brought them out of barbarism. Let's look that word up. Barbarism is the absence of culture and civilization, extreme cruelty or brutality. And the thing is, they always say this because they talk about how Jake, before they Europeans got over here, they were sacrificing and killing each other, which they were going on for that. But that doesn't negate the fact that Jake still had civilizations. You had, look, this is one. This is one that Jake had. Tribe of Issachar, so-called Mexicans, had before the conquistadors came over here. Man, they had something known as Tenochtitlan, if I'm saying that right. Look at this. All right, this is a literal city on water. All right, that Jake had before the conquistadors came over here, man. You mean to tell me there wasn't any civilization? Yeah, right. So let me just finish with this. I want to pick it apart a little bit.
The colonizers spread civilization. They spread the gospel. They spread innovation.
You didn't spread the gospel, okay? You came over here with that white man, all right? We're the ones that spreading the gospel. We're waking our people up, okay? And that should be. And it is for you black Christians out there. This should be an example showing you what This should be an example showing you, that because even the so-called white man is telling you that white Jesus basically, all right, is what they came over here with and conquered you in the name of. Okay, you know, but let me continue. Innovation. Let me see what this means. Action or process of innovating a new method, idea, product. Okay, but look where it led to. All right, and on top of that, look, y'all, this place, America, was built on bloodshed, as we just read over here. That this age of discovery, what did it see again? It said the era saw widespread enslavement, exploitation, and military conquest of native populations, concurrent with the growing economic fluence and spread of Western and European culture. Science and technology leading to a faster and exponential population growth worldwide, right? But it said enslavement and all that. And guess what the scriptures say about that? Okay. No, forget that. This is the book of Micah. No. Habakkuk 2 and verse 12. Woe to him, which woe means death and destruction, to him that buildeth the town with blood, establisheth man. All right. You know, that doesn't matter. Okay. You know, you built this town off of blood. You built this city, this nation off of blood, rather, should I say. And look, you spilled blood in here too, you know, in the process of making this place or establishing it rather. Oh, now it's going to go slow. Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. See? So you so-called white people, man, you gonna pay. When Yahweh Shai comes back, the Messiah, you gonna pay. You know what, and it wasn't basically off of you know, it wasn't your power, your own power for your own strength that you did this. It was the will of the Lord, but nevertheless, you're gonna pay for it. Okay, you're gonna pay for what you did to us. All right, you know, in the sense it's written in the Bible. Okay, let me see what else he said.
Innovation. They spread important ideas, such as the idea that you shouldn't murder your children to appease the sun god, that you shouldn't eat your enemies to absorb their life force. Did the colonizers also spread dairy products? I don't know, but I'm happy to add that to the list of triumphs. Is our civilization one that we should be proud of, even in spite of its history of conquest? No, not in spite of that history. I'm proud of it in large part because of that history. It is one of the great triumphs of all time that our forefathers had to first conquer an ocean in order to then land on a giant mass of uncharted wilderness filled with untold dangers and wild beasts. And yes, wife and children before killing you, maybe eating your internal organs and taking your family as their property. And yet, in the face of
So you mean to tell me that? Let's hear him say it one more time. Bring it back.
And cannibalism, and who, if they captured you, would primitive warring tribes, many of whom practice human sacrifice and cannibalism, and who, if they captured you, would torture you for fun and rape your wife and children.
The Spaniards did all that too. They would torture Jake. They would kill them. They would rape their wives. All of that, man. Okay, let me just type this in real quick. Did the conquistadors rape? I mean, everybody. We should, you know, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't even have to look it up. All right. However, it says colonial sexual violence North America. It says colonial sexual violence in North America refers to the systems put in place by Europeans through settler colonialism that enforces gender divides. I'm trying to get to. Okay, it says support sexual exploitation and use patriarchy as a means to control the indigenous population. All right. Looking for a certain part that is said under the caption. Okay. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna zoom in right here. It says right here, when Spanish settlers arrived, they believed rape was a right of conquest. Okay, everybody knows that they did this, man. All right, it's not. It's not. I mean, think about it too. If you conquer a nation, you're going to end up taking their women. All right, that's just how is work. Okay, that's just how it's been. All right, it's just about as simple as that, man. Okay, but So you mean to tell me? So he's doing a compare and contrast right here. You know, saying, let's hear it again.
Before killing you, maybe eat. I'm proud of it in large part because of that history. It is one of the great triumphs of all time that our forefathers had to first conquer an ocean in order to then land on a giant mass of uncharted wilderness filled with untold dangers and wild beasts, and yes, primitive warring tribes, many of whom practiced human sacrifice and cannibalism, and who, if they captured you, would torture you for fun and rape your wife and children before killing you, maybe eating your internal organs and taking your family as their property. And
yeah, well, meanwhile, Christopher Columbus came over here and slaughtered masses of people, put them on slave ships, spreaded diseases. Yeah, you mean to tell me that we're the savages, right? And in North America, they come over here and they slaughter thousands of Native Americans, the tribe of Gad and Reuben. All right, Reuben being the so-called Seminole Indians. All right, relocate them out of their own native lands because you want to come over here and settle here. You know, and on top of that, you want to go across the ocean. You know, and you want to enslave them over here. You mean to tell me that we should be proud of that history, all because of what it led to today? What cars that pollute the air, foods that are polluted, you know, everybody cramped on top of each other. Don't you know in America, let me see, let me type this in. Uh, in America, that's a lie. All right. Of course, there's always, man, it's like Esau trying to do a pushback. I would say no, the United States does not have enough land for everyone to have 1 acre, as it will require a vast amount of land beyond the current available area. That's a lie. Okay. These devils that come, they have certain places closed off, man. Okay. For their own, you know, needs or whatever or wants. Okay. But everyone's supposed to have their own. Okay. Let me go back here.
And yet, in the face of those unimaginable horrors, our forefathers and ancestors conquered this entire hemisphere and settled it and single-handedly dragged it out of the Stone Age and built from the wilderness the greatest civilization the world had ever known. Am I proud of that? Yes, I am.
No, they didn't build it. We built it. They used us to do it. That's the thing. See, Esau, man. I'm gonna just get this scripture real quick. All right. They didn't build. Okay. Don't act like they didn't have slaves. All right. And the thing is that these devils do tell us to forget about slavery, but then they'll come out with something like this, telling you that they're proud of the history. Well, why shouldn't you forget about that? It was a long time ago too, right? This is Zechariah 2:8. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that touches you touches the apple of his eye. See, so these devils, they messed with the Lord's chosen people. Did not the Lord say in Deuteronomy 7:6 that we're a chosen people? Okay. So these devils, they messed with the Lord's chosen nation of people, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indians. So what do you think is going to happen to them? Verse 9, for behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. Slavery. And ye shall know that Yahweh of hosts hath sent me. Okay? So slavery is coming for these people. Guess what? They're going to build up our kingdom. I mean, we all know this. Should know it. Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 10. See, we're going to have slaves. This is what you call justice and recompense. Isaiah 60 and 10, and the sons of strangers, which are the heathens, the heathen nations, anyone that's not of the nation of Israel. So that not only includes so-called white people, you know, Edomites, but includes so-called Chinese, Japanese, literal Africans, East Indians, Polynesians, all right, etc. Arabs, okay? It says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. They're going to build our kingdom. So that means we're going to have slaves. And their king shall minister unto thee, for my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. And our kingdom is going to be greater than anything Esau has ever had. Okay? And where the thing is, we're going to have it forever. You see? There's no way we're ever going to go back down after we come up. All right? Our kingdom, we're going to have the nations in subjection. We're going to be ruling the earth in righteousness forevermore. Meanwhile, Esau, look, all this hard work you done conquered and all that. Look at what's happening. Okay, don't forget too that y'all went down at one period of time as well. Get that. Revelation 20. I'll read the first 3 verses. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, which is Europe, and a great chain in his hand. Right? This is the Lord basically having it that the ancient Western Roman Empire fell. Okay. Verse 2, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the so-called white man. All right, he's that dragon, that old serpent. All right, which is the devil and Satan. Okay, he's also the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Okay, and because when Western ancient Roman Empire fell, they went down for roughly 1,000 years. You could look it up. You could look, and meanwhile, Israelites were ruling over there in Europe while they fell. And when that period of time is known as the Dark Ages or the Middle Ages. Okay, so while we were up ruling in the Middle Ages, they fell. You could look up how. I'll look it up. I'll do it. How long did the Middle Ages last? Roughly 1,000 years. Okay, see, the medieval era, often called the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages, began around 476 A.D. Following a great loss of power throughout Europe by the Roman Emperor, the Middle Ages spanned roughly 1,000 years, ending between 1400 and 1450. Okay, so there's no coincidence. It says this here in the scriptures. Verse 3 says, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should see the nations no more. So when they fell, they basically, these devils, they couldn't do anything. They became degenerates. They were living in caves and all of that. Okay. So yeah, they were barbaric at one time too. They were some real savages, man. All right, read Job 30. Okay. And tell me what that, read the first verses 1 through 7 and tell me what that describes. All right. Or who that describes. Okay. What it sounds like. So it says, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed to the little season. So the so-called white man, right? He was out of power for about 1,000 years. But after that, Middle Ages passed. What came next was the Renaissance, which means rebirth. Okay. He came back into power. Renaissance literally means rebirth. All right. That's why Malachi 1 says we will return and build the desolate places. All right. Whereas Edom saith we are impoverished, meaning beat down, but we will return and build the desolate places. Okay. And it says, and after that he must be loosed to little seasons. So from that point of the Renaissance, which this is a little history in the scriptures, But from that point of the Renaissance, okay, from that point forward, you had the Age of Discovery, etc. The devil has been in power ever since the time of the Renaissance, man. So it's time for him to go down. Okay, his run has been it's been for a minute, man. It's time for him to go down. Okay, it's about time for this devil to go. All right, but let me see what else. Did I have anything before this? Okay, let me go back here.
Now, the natives lived in the Americas for 20,000 years. And this is something.
And that's another thing too. Just like it, the scriptures talk about how the indigenous peoples, our people, all right, had gold, all of that, man. They had gold, they had the riches of the land, all of that, man. And this devil came over here and stole it. He came over here and stole it, man. All right. So, and there's history, all right, that goes into that, which me and a brother, had done lessons on when we went into the tribes, how this devil, went and stole all of that, man. Look, let me just type this in did. So it says, yes, the conquistadors, Spanish explorers, and conquerors did indeed take land, resources, and gold from the Americas, driven by a desire for wealth and glory. See? So They came over here taking, okay, taking, killing, all of that. You know. So you mean to tell me your forefathers are to be proud of that? You know. But hey, let's listen. And then also too, you enslaved the Southern Kingdom, man. We're the ones that built this. You know, not only Southern Kingdom, but just Jacob General, man. We built this shit for you. Okay. You know. You know, we built it. Y'all didn't do the labor. Don't forget you had slaves, man. Don't forget it. Okay. And see, but these devils, they'll say that was a long time ago. Well, he's recalling it a long time ago. So what about him? How about you tell him that? I bet you not one white person told this man that was a long time ago. We should forget about it. Okay, but nevertheless, you're gonna have to pay for all that. You're gonna have to pay, especially for that slavery, man. Let me get this. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. This is what a lot of you Edomites don't get. Isaiah 14 and 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. See? Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. This is how the Lord set it up. Okay. First Esau will come into power. You know, first Esau, before Jacob got his official kingdom, Esau would be ruler, man. Okay. And then after Jacob, it's like then after Esau comes Jacob. Okay. I'm quoting a different verse. I'm referring to something different. I'm not breaking this down right now, but basically, all right, now I'm about to break it down. But Isaiah 14 and 21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. So they got to pay for all that stuff that, you know, all the slavery that they did to us. They got to pay for that, man. Okay. Get back here.
The left and the people who hate this country like to bring up all the time. Well, they were here for so long. Yeah, they were here for a long time. What did they do in that time? During that time, they never figured out the wheel. They never figured out written language.
Oh man. You know, these devils just gotta go, man. You know, in the kingdom, they're not gonna have this type of power to speak like this. They're gonna be a slave in the kingdom. They're gonna be reduced to a slave. You know, they never had the will. Nigga, what? Oh man. Man.
Most of them progressed hardly at all over the course of 200 centuries. They were still eating each other and living in tents, many of them. The great tribes of Mesoamerica had advanced the most. And by that I mean they had caught up to the ancient Egyptians by the time that the conquistadors showed up. They were building pyramids at a time when Europeans were using the printing press. Then European settlers arrived here, and in less than 3 centuries, they had established a nation. In another 70 or so years, that nation would stretch across the entire continent from one ocean to another. In another 50 years, they'd be digging a giant trench through the earth to physically connect one ocean to the other. At the same time, they would be building vehicles that can fly through the air. In another few decades,
talking about a fucking airplane. Look, man, our kingdom, in our kingdom, man, we're gonna be owning chariots, okay? The chariots of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai go faster than your fighter jets, man. Okay, because and the thing is, in the kingdom, we're gonna have advanced technology, all of that, man. You know, it's just the Lord is far out, and everything this devil has, the Lord gave him. You see, set him up, you know, with all this power and technology. Well, the Lord is the one that put it in their minds to do that. They didn't get it off their own. These are the basest of men. You know, how do you think someone goes from being a caveman to someone in power without the Lord? You see, that doesn't make sense. You know, and but look at the thing is too, what they don't understand. It's like talk about how they got this country, etc. Should be proud of it. Okay, you can have your little pride. Let me get this real quick, man. All right, let me just have this on deck because now I just got reminded of something. All right, but with your pride and everything, you know, look at what about where your country is going? Okay, yeah, you got America. Yeah, the Lord allowed you to get it. All right, you stole it, you killed, you raped, robbed, and murdered, and you know use the word conquered. Right? Yeah, you got it. But what about where it's gonna? How is it gonna? Is it gonna continue? You know, this chapter, Revelation 18, man. All right, this has the death and destruction of America written all over it. All right, America is Babylon the Great in the Bible. Revelation 18 and 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great, America is fallen and destroyed, is fallen and is become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. This is the future of America. It's going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles, and after the nuclear missiles, you're going to have desert animals and different creatures living in America. Ain't nobody ever going to set foot over here ever again. All right, this place is going to be like the no man's zone, as you see in the Planet of the Apes. Okay, let me start here at verse 5. It says, For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Yeah, and America's original sin, as Apostle Gabar brought out. What is America's original sin? Many people consider America's original sin to be the institution of slavery and its enduring legacy of racism and white supremacy, which continue to shape the nation's social and political landscape. Boom. You know, and that's true. You know, so from the time that it started all the way to now, the Lord remembers all of that, right? And so, guess what? This great nation that you came over here and conquered, or this, these. Let me just say it slightly. Let me re-say that. This great nation, or this so-called great nation that you established, all right, by the bloodshed and enslavement of the Israelites. Don't think that your nation, the Edomites, will not be conquered, and blood will be spilt when we get in our kingdom. Revelation 18:6, reward her, even as she rewarded you, the people that's in charge of America, which is Esau. How do they reward us? You just looked it up. Slavery. All right. So when the time comes, we're going to reward them with slavery. Psalm 149, Revelation 13:10, Isaiah 14:2, Jeremiah 30:16. All right. Because in double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. Be such a great thing to see them with their heads down in the kingdom, just getting just beaten, man. I'm talking about, because we ain't gonna get tired. Oh nah, the slave masters, they would get tired. We not. When you get in our kingdom, we're gonna have different bodies when we get in our kingdom, man. We're not gonna get tired. Hell no. The hell is tired. Okay. The book of Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. That's you so-called white people, man. That dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup, which is slavery, also shall pass through unto thee. So rejoice and be glad. You got your rulership, your kingdom and all that. Matt Walsh, fucking devil. All right. Rejoice and be glad, live it up. Because after this, it's over. Okay. You're going to be thinking about what was, all right, in the very near future. You're going to be thinking about how you had it all. But the Lord about to reduce your ass to a slave. And after that, you're going to be exterminated, man. Says, the cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. See, our time of punishment is just about up. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Boom. Okay. Let me get this. This is the book of Obadiah 1:3. It says, the pride of thine heart, which is mine. This is talking to Esau. See, Obadiah 1:1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. All right. Obadiah 1:3. Okay. So, these devils, they done conquered and did all this stuff to the world. They feel like no one could take them down. So he says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. They are the dwellers in it. They think that nothing's going to happen to them. They are the dwellers in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. Because what? They used to live in caves, and they like high habitations like skyscrapers and all that. That saith in his heart and his mind, who shall bring me down to the ground? And the elites of Esau are the ones who really feel like that, man. Esau, regular Edomites do peons, all right, but You know, the elites really feel like that. Who's going to defeat them? You know, these devils, they got pride. Oh, they got pride, but it's going to be knocked right down when Yahushua comes back.
These settlers took a wilderness sparsely inhabited by hostile Stone Age natives, and in a matter of a few centuries built the greatest, most advanced, most globally dominant nation the world has ever known. Am I proud of that? Oh, yes. I am very proud of that.
And this very, let's hear him say, let's use the words again.
Natives, and in a matter of a few centuries built the greatest, most advanced, most globally dominant nation the world has ever known. Am I proud of that? Oh, yes.
So the most great, I don't even want to say that shit, but as he said, the most greatest advanced nation the world has ever seen. Well, with all this technology and everything, pretty much, you know, that's why he keeps saying advanced and everything. All right. Well, guess what? The same technology that, you know, you dealt, well, let me say a piece of the same technology that you devils have developed is going to be the same thing that the Lord is going to use to destroy your kingdom. Okay. Let me get this real quick. I'm talking about the nuclear missile. It's the book of Isaiah 54 and verse 16. And it says, Behold, I created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I've created the waster to this. Okay. And it's all he's gonna let it off at a certain time. Okay. And this is what's going to be used to bring Joel 2 and 3 to pass. This thing don't load. Okay, here we go. Joel 2 and 3. It says, A fire devoured the four of them. Talking about the cone of the, pretty much the warhead, because that's where the fire comes from on the nuclear missile. And behind them, a flame burning. Behind the missile, you got fire propelling it and everything. The land of America is as the Garden of Eden before them, before they hit. The land of America, everything going to be like a regular day before they hit. And after, and behind them, and after they hit, a desolate wilderness. That's what America is going to be turned into, a wilderness. It's going to be like a big ass desert. Say, yea, nothing shall escape them. Okay? This is what's coming to America. The Lord gonna wipe this place off the earth. America ain't nothing to be proud of. Okay? You know, it's really not. All right. Babylon the Great, America is going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles. All right. And you know, the nations are gonna see it actually. Let me get this. It's Book of Revelation 18. And verse 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her, and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. So these nations, they're going to see America's destruction. How? Verse 10, it says, standing afar off for the fear of the torment, and standing afar off, meaning it's going to be televised. Okay? The destruction will be televised, man. It says, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Okay? It's only going to take 1 hour to destroy America. These nations, they're going to see it get destroyed. Okay, and after that comes slavery, man, for you nations, especially Edomites. And then we're going to get our big payback. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. All right. So let me see what else he got to say.
I am very proud of that. And I will always be proud of that.
Well, be proud of that when you in the kingdom picking cotton with a chain around your neck, man. Be proud of that too. Okay. And the thing is, we're gonna make fun of you in the kingdom, man. All right. You know, these devils just making it worse and worse for themselves, man. For real.
And I will never apologize for it. Period. White people.
Okay. And the thing is, when this place is destroyed, the elect, they're gonna rejoice. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 20. Rejoice over her, talking about over America, thou heaven and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. So the elect, they're gonna rejoice over Babylon the Great when it's destroyed, aka America. All right. You know, we're gonna be happy. And especially when because after this place goes down, once again, Esau is going into slavery, man. All right. We don't think the Lord is just gonna let you just slide after everything you've done. No, man, hell no. Okay, you for the rest of you so-called white people talking about it's a long time ago, forget about it. Well, we just read the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Okay, you know, we're gonna say something else, but train of thought left. However, Sirach 25:7, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. Okay, and we and the elect, they're gonna live to see the fall of you devils, man. They're gonna be slapping chains on you, man, for real. Let me get that now. Psalm 149, starting in verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. The saints of the Israelites, Psalm 148:14. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. See, so we actually got the elect gonna actually have that. All right. To execute vengeance upon the heathen. The heathen are nations that aren't the nation of Israel. And punishments upon the people to bind their kings with chains. That is slavery. Okay. And their nobles with fetters of iron to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right. You see that? So, hey, there you go. You know, there you go. Slavery is in the near future for you Edomites, man. So, hey, man, look, you know, I'm gonna stop it there. All right, but Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. It's a Sabbath now, but hey, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, every well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Shalom to the elect.